Hello, I'm glad you could join me today. It's a wonderful day here. I hope it is wherever you're at. Thank you for visiting my site. Today we're going to do something a little different. I have a painting already completed, but I'm going to go over it and show you how I got to this point. So if you want to get started, we'll load a 2-inch brush with liquid white. We always do this with this type of wet on wet, is covering the whole canvas with a very thin coat of liquid white. You'll see that when we use liquid white, this is going to help us blend all the colors on the canvas and not on the palettes like your traditional oil painting is. Once you gave it a light coat, you're going to load your brush up with phthalo blue. Crisscross strokes in the corners. We're going to start in the corners. That's what we'll do. Get the dark starting in the corners and blend it. As we blend it, as we work our way down, it's automatically going to mix with the liquid white, and it's going to fuse it, diffuse it as it goes down, and make it lighter and lighter. Leave some light areas throughout your canvas, throughout your painting, because we're going to put some clouds in there, and if not, it's just going to cause it to have a little bit more character and depth in your sky. I'm going to take the same color. I'm going to come down and pull from the side almost to the middle of the canvas. We're going to leave a spot coming through where it's going to be a reflection of your water. You always want to come in straight, because if you come in at an angle, it's going to look like the water's falling off your canvas, and we don't want that. And the wet on wet is so forgiving, this type of painting, is that you never make mistakes, you just have happy accidents, and that's a good thing about it. So after you put your water line in, you're going to grab a fan brush. You're going to fill it up with titanium white and liquid white on both sides. And we're going to come up here and we're going to start to make our clouds. Your clouds can be anywhere they want, as many as you want. It's no right or wrong way. What you want to do is keep this white part on the top of it. Then you're going to come back with a 2-inch brush, clean brush, and just barely blend in the bottom of the clouds. Barely. Once you did that, 2 hair and some air, just barely flip and lift it up and go across. Take your fan brush again and load it up with the white. Make another layer, maybe just down from there, so you got some depth in there. You got a darker color in there. Make it look like it's a shadow. Don't touch that top of that cloud though. Blend the bottom in. Now you can touch it, flip it up very lightly. Once you've done that, you're going to mix a dark color for your mountain. It's going to be a mountain color. It's like a Prussian blue, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, and maybe a little bit of midnight black. It's going to be a dark, like a purple color. Now mix it up, get a little roll of it on the edge of your knife. Come in here and you're going to scrape it in, kind of hard. Find out where you want your peaks to be. You always want to off-center it, either to the right or to the left. In anything that you do, your mountains, trees, or anything, it's just more soothing to the eye. Got to cut all this in, scrape off all the excess paint. Come in and grab your palette, your 2-inch brush. And you're going to pull that down till it misses, till it fades away. Find out where your angles are. Take your palette knife again, load up a cut of titanium white and some maybe liquid white, and we're going to find out that our sun there, our light area is coming from the right here down. So that's where we want our highlights to be. So we're just going to tap it and just barely let the canvas take the white off, and it's going to give all the breaks in there and give you your your dimension that you're looking for in your mountain. Fill it up again, and maybe this part of the mountain's getting some sun and it's got some snow there. And maybe this one here. And just let it go. So the angle is going to be about like that, where you're just tapping it. Just tap it, no pressure. Now you're going to use titanium white, a little bit of phthalo blue, and get a light blue color. That's going to be your shading. But you don't want to shade it all in. You want to leave some of it dark. It gives it depth, and it gives it a deeper look, more three-dimensional. And just put it wherever you think the shadow might be. Then you're going to take a dry brush, clean, and you're going to tap the mountain in, all the colors. And you're going to fuse it and mist it at the bottom. And this is going to cause it to be pushed back and give you a layer. Each layer will have the mist and give you more dimension and make it more of a three-dimensional look. And that's what you want to try to create. Now for your glacier, because this is a glacier now, it's not a mountain, it don't have the peaks. We're going to use the same dark colors that we used, and we're going to cut it in again. Scrape it in, wherever you think your angles and your little peaks, little ledges will be. Pull it down. Take your 2-inch brush. Instead of pulling on an angle now, you're going to be pulling more straight down because your glacier is higher up and it's more of a straight down look. Pull that down. Now take your palette knife, the roll of titanium white, your light's coming from the right, you want to decide where your highlights are going to be. Maybe right there is perfect. Maybe here, there, here, barely touching. Barely touching. If you got to load your palette knife up again, load it up. Once you decide that that's good, you're going to fill in with a little bit of that phthalo blue and titanium white. And decide where your shade's going to be. Your shade. The shade of your mountain. Leave some of it dark though. Makes it look deeper. Just like your mountain you did, you're going to fuse it now and mist it. You're just going to tap it. If it's not misty enough or white enough, take some titanium white or a little bit of liquid white and just tap it in until you get it kind of misted and blended in. Now we're going to make a dark green color. We're going to take the colors that we used, but we're going to put some sap green in it, some phthalo green, and we're going to start putting some evergreen trees in, loading this fan brush on both sides with heavy paint. We're going to use the tip of this, and we're going to just tap it. So you're just tapping down. Of course, in a smaller scale. Tap down and make as many as evergreen trees as you want. Make the big ones. Once you do that, grab some more color, and you're going to start at the very top with that tips and just barely tap. The harder you tap, the closer you get towards the bottom. So you're tapping back and forth like that. Of course, in a smaller scale again, just to get the right texture and to get all the branches on the trees. Once you've created all your trees, you're going to take the dark color with the sap green in it, and we're going to start marking in our landscape wherever you think it might be. It doesn't have to have any type of shape or anything. We're going to shape it all in when we put our lighter colors in. We just want to shape it and maybe have a peak come out here or a peak there. You can have a peak or anything you want. Now we're going to take the same color and add some light color to it. Some liquid white, titanium white, and a little bit of cadmium yellow. Once we do that, and once you decide your light's coming here again, and you want to just tap it, and that's going to give you your sharp little edges and your light. Add a little bit more light color and make it pop. And make it look three-dimensional, and don't color and don't tap it all in. Tap it and leave a space where you got that darkness, where you got the dark there. That causes it to make it look like it's got hills, and that's exactly what you want. tap it over here. Sun's coming here, the light, and this area here is covered by the evergreen, so it's going to be a darker shade, more shaded with the green. Once you do that, you take your color and you pull down for the reflection. You want the reflection of your trees and maybe your mountain, and you look at this big tree here and you have it come down and very lightly go over it. And that gives you your reflection of your water. Take your palette knife with a little roll of paint and you can cut some white and make some water lines if you want. After you've done that, we'll take some light colors and we'll do some more tapping on some areas that maybe we think that maybe we want to get highlighted a little bit more. And what's good about painting is the wet on wet is it's easy and anybody can do it, and you never make a mistake. After you've done all that, you can take your palette knife and scrape in some branches and twigs. Because of the liquid white we put on at the very beginning, will show through when we scrape the paint off that we put on. And it's going to look like little twigs and branches and stuff. That's really, really fine that you can't do with a liner brush. It would take too much time. And here it's just quick. There, here, here, and there. Now, since we got to this point here, we can go ahead and sign it. And I always sign it with a lighter color. And I'm going to use cadmium yellow and maybe liquid white to make it almost like an ink. I sign mine in the corner and I usually put my last name. Other people might sign it and put initials or use their first name. So whatever you like to do is fine. Well, I hope you enjoyed this type of painting. I hope you visit my site again. On YouTube, I'm going to have other canvases that I'm going to start out blank, and then I'm going to create the painting. And I've been painting now for over 14 years and sold over 400 paintings around the United States. And when I started out, I couldn't paint. I could always draw. I always did well in art, but I never tried oil painting until I tried this wet on wet. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you come back. And my website's www.johnlacroixhobbies.com. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.